Hey guys, today I wanted to cover the first video on going through each and every category of the free audit template, right? And if you haven't already got this, please do go and get this in the link in the description below. You'll be able to download it on my website. You'll be able to get a copy of this, save the link, because I'll consistently update the links on each category with the template, any new templates, any new videos, any new notes that I'll add. I'm consistently adding any notes in here about each one. But this is the first video of many, and we'll be covering the content marketing section of the template today. Now, we want to figure out, with the client, when it comes to the client, we want to figure out, okay, do they have data or do they not have data, right? Now, if they don't have data and it's a brand new website, obviously things are always a bit more difficult because we don't really know what we're working with. We can kind of gauge how competitive the local area is and what sort of keywords to rank for. And to do this, you want to use a keyword research tool. You can use keyword research tools. There's multiple. I could do a video on it, but it will take a bit too long to cover it today. But there are multiple tools. Some are free, some are not. You can use certain ones like Ask the Public. That's quite a nice one. I believe that's free. Ubersuggest is another one. You've got Ahrefs. They're paid. I mean, that is the best one there is. But you don't really necessarily need it unless you've got high-paying clients for certain SEO campaigns. Now, what you want to do is you want to take the spreadsheet that's linked in here, and you want to basically map each keyword to the corresponding URL. And basically you want to, this is for a site that doesn't have data, right? I'm just covering this now and then I'll move on to the next section. You basically want to map out all the different keywords that you intend to rank for based on each URL, right? So for example, we've got black mold here, black mold removal, right? Musty smell from mold. So you want to send this over to your content writer, your content manager, when developing a new website, because this is a really good way of actually mapping out or setting that expectation for the SEO campaign, right? And you can send this over to your client for approval. And it's a really good way of just really figuring out, okay, this page is ranking for this page we intend to rank for this page. And obviously it can change over time. This is usually a starting point for how you want to begin your campaign. And obviously certain things, once the data comes in after about 3 months, you can start to figure out, okay, maybe not this keyword, but maybe we'll change it for this keyword, a long tail keyword, maybe something a bit more easier. Okay, so take this spreadsheet if you do have a brand new website and really develop it out. And this is part of our process when we develop websites. We map out all of the different pages we intend to build, and then we build those foundations into the SEO, like I've said before. And then we kind of work around this. This is kind of our the model we work around when developing a website. So moving on, we go to the keywords mapped in sitemap. So we go to the if data present, right? So I wanted to cover how we can utilize sort of tools to actually map out the different keywords that we intend to rank for certain pages with data, right? And you can access this if we head over to Google Search Console. And we'll just go in here. If I go start now, and this should already be installed inside of the site, because you've gone through the checklist, and you've checked that they've got Google Search Console installed, Bing Search Console, Google Analytics, right? And then you log in, right? If we go, I don't know. Let's just go. Let's go here. Right. Okay. So what you can do is, this is kind of, this is very underutilized. So it's not many people are using this kind of feature to their advantage, right? And it's completely free, but you obviously do need a good amount of data from it. But it basically gives you that kind of idea about, okay, what are our clients doing, what are queries, what pages are actually ranking for what, and do we need to change the targeting for specific pages, right? And what we do usually, so say for example, let's go for what are the latest types of TMS. Now what you can do is you can actually look at the queries that it's actually ranking for, and you can see, we've got these different just all these different keywords here, but clearly this seems to be working quite nicely, the keyword TMS protocols. And then you've got these little details here, so the impressions, CTR, and the position, right? And you really want to be looking at the clicks, CTR, and the position. The impressions really, I mean, if they're really low, like, so we've got 14 and 746 here, so we could, look at mapping this keyword as opposed to the TMS protocols keyword, as there's only, 2 clicks difference, but there's 746 impressions, and they're both kind of around the similar position. So what we can do is we can take these keywords, and obviously you can put it, 3 months, whatever it may be, and you can obviously type in the right URL. Also, make sure that there's only like one page really, going for this keyword. You don't want too many pages competing for the same keyword, right? And that's usually a sign that you have very similar content on the pages, right? So you really want to, knuckle down and get one page for that specific keyword. I mean, it's not the case in in every scenario, but in the example we're looking at right now, we've got a perfect sort of one page, a great page with great content on, and it's ranking for the specific keywords that we want them to rank for. Now, if we go, let's just map, I'm going to map the TMS protocols. I mean, it's interesting, right? Because you see we've got 1.9% CTR and then we've got 8% CTR here, right? And usually CTR is a basis on title tags, meta descriptions, and general kind of schema. So having having stars, having an FAQ inside of the Google listings, right? So what I mean by this is if we were to type up TMS protocols, let's just click on here. Let me just get this here. Can't seem to copy it. 1 second. There you go. Let's just type up. Let's just do that. Now, so we're ranking down here, right? So there are certain things that we can improve definitely on this listing here already by just looking at the Google Search Console data. Now, if I was to map this, let me just move you over here. Now, if I was to map this on the spreadsheet that I'm about to provide, and you can, to be honest, I'll do a few examples and then you can check the live sheet and then you can download it yourself. But what I've done, this is another example here, so let's just take this here. And just copy this in here. This is an old example. That's when we first really started doing work for this client. So what we want to do is we want to kind of map it in a similar way that we've got on Google Search Console. So we've got, what do we have? We have the keyword. Okay. So we have the keyword, and then we've got the clicks, impressions, CTR, and position, right? And we want to rank for, I believe, let's rank for TMS protocols, right? This is just an example. I'd usually do a little bit of research around the keyword before I map it. So what you could do is you could plug the keywords into like a keyword research tool like Ubersuggest or Ahrefs or whatever it may be, and just compare what the traffic is like and the keyword difficulty, and maybe make a decision on whether, okay, we'll go for this keyword this month, or we'll go for this other keyword the next month, right? So you make that decision. Okay, so you've got, oh blimey, we've, one second, let me just, clicks. Okay, sometimes you'll have to move things around. You've got the URL. Let's get this URL is here. Position. Impressions. Okay, right. So I see what's going on here. Let's just chuck that there. 200 CTR. Okay. .4, 201 and 16. Right. I mean, rough idea. I mean, it doesn't have to be completely accurate right now, because it's not. What I'll do by the end of this, I'll just copy what I did, some of the first ones in here. For this one, I'll put it into the live spreadsheet so you can have a look, and you can basically use that as a kind of like a guide to then do your own. Right now, we've got the keyword, we've got the clicks, we've got the impressions, CTR, and position. Right now, sometimes you can just look at this data here to then make database optimizations to the actual page itself. Right, so what you're doing is you're mapping the keyword to the URL. So we've got TMS protocols. Okay, let's plug this in. Right. So we've got the URL here. Now, what traditionally I would do is I would find the keyword. You can add your own, you can customize it, but you can do the keyword difficulty, you can do the search volume for that specific keyword, and then you can start moving on to the general technicalities of the actual page, right? So does the page have, if we want to improve the rankings, does the page have duplicate content, right? Is the page got duplicate content from another site? And you can use something called Copyscape and Siteliner to find this out. Okay, so you've got Copyscape, yeah, check that in there, or Siteliner, whatever it may be, and you can plug the URL in just to double check there's no duplicate content, because that can cause all sorts of issues with your rankings. Now then you can move on to certain things like the actual H1, and if you're mapping a keyword, you want to make sure, and especially if you're if this is a brand new website and you want to start ranking specific keywords and mapping certain keywords to certain pages, you want to make sure the content, the H1s, the H2s, and everything like that is around that keyword, right? It doesn't have to be specifically using that keyword multiple times. It can be semantic, it can be related to keywords, things like that. But make sure that we know where we're guiding this page, right, and where we want it to be. Now, if I wanted to check the 3 pillars or the 4 pillars of the data here. Now we want to improve the clicks, we want to improve the CTR, and obviously we want to improve the position, right? Now, one of the things you can do for the CTR, and something I've already noticed just by looking at this, right, we've got a title tag that's kind of going off, not really showing the full title tag, so we can change that, right? We'll note that down. We can make that improvement. Now, what you want to do if you are going to make these changes, and you can get this data from Screaming Frog, like I've done in here, and you can just plug a URL into Screaming Frog. I showed this in the guide video, and it can give you all of this data here, right? It can give you the meta descriptions, the title tags, everything like that, the H1s, right? So what we'd do is we'd copy Let's find it. Let me find the TMS Pro 2. Okay, here we go. So we'd have the keyword mapped, and we've got the, I mean, some of this is a bit messed up at the moment, but we'd have the keywords mapped, we'd have the title tag mapped, and we'd have the meta description mapped, right? So what you would want to do then is you'd want to copy this sheet, and then, what you want to do is you want to make these changes. So what I usually do is I add a note. I'd be like, insert note, change title tag to this, change meta description to this, add some schema markup, whatever it may be, to improve the CTR, and then you'd copy and paste this benchmarking, and you'd show those changes again. So once you've implemented those changes, so let me explain that. Right, okay, so you'd make these changes, right, and what you can do is you can do like a little note. I don't know, it could be, let's say here 2022, insert note, change to 2024, right? And then these notes will be all mapped out, everything like that. Any notes will be changed, any notes will be added, ready for you to then wait a month, 2 months, whatever it may be, depending on how much traffic you're getting to your website. And then it will be, okay, duplicate that benchmarking spreadsheet, or do the whole benchmarking system again. So you then map it out all again with Google Search Console, and you map out all the title tags, everything like that. And then what you'd start to see is slight improvements in certain data over time, right? So you'd see just like certain increases or increments in clicks, CTR, positions, things like that. And you can just consistently do this multiple times for a business, right? And you can consistently duplicate the spreadsheet over and over again with new statistics every month, right, or every 2 months, or whatever it may be. This is just an example sheet that I've just like done for this video, but we do have like a full, every couple of months we usually do another copy, and another copy, with new data and differences in data, right? Let me just see if I can cover anything else, and you can just add like more columns and things like that. You can customize it in any way you like. Certain things could be, you can see how many in-links and internal links are going to that specific page, and in certain cases it may require some more internal links guided to that page if you want more kind of internal link juice going to that specific page and telling Google this page is important, we need it to rank. And there's a lot you can figure out using this process, right, and using Screaming Frog. It's very beneficial, and also using the tools that are free and provided by Google. Things like, if we were to go, I don't know, another page in here, let's say TMS versus ketamine, or TMS versus Fisher Wallace, right? And we can have a look at the different keywords that it's actually ranking for and gaining clicks for. So you've got Fisher Wallace oak, or Fisher Wallace stimulator price, and there's certain things, right, that you can take from this and think, okay, maybe we could add these sorts of keywords inside of the article, right, and we could cover something on Fisher Wallace price. I think one page we were really trying to push was, let's find, if I just open this up, let's go to accelerated TMS therapy. Very big thing, and it's basically an accelerated TMS process, But it's also, yeah, so it's a good accelerated TMS process, and it's quite a new thing. So we were trying to cover a lot on it, right? And cover the kind of different terms that are related to it. So we've got accelerated TMS near me, Saint TMS cost. We've got a lot of terms on cost for anxiety. Maybe we could add a section on our specific page for how it can treat anxiety. Maybe we can add, where can I get Saint TMS therapy near me? Some of them can be quite generic, but some of them, you know, where to get Stanford accelerated intelligent. Okay, right. And I mean, it's just like you can just open it up and just find all of these different keywords that people are looking for, rapid TMS, and things that you could possibly add to that page, right? And then when it gets to the point where you haven't got, you know, you've done the content, you've added the content, it's all going well, you've got the content on the page. You know, if I look on our accelerated TMS page and we wanted it to rank even better, you know, because we added a section on accelerated TMS cost, and there wasn't any really other companies covering the keyword accelerated TMS cost, and we actually got into quite a high ranking for it, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Because it's just like, you know, you cover things, you look at things. Okay, are people, you know, talking about that? And usually cost is something people steer away from. Whoops, didn't even put TMS in there. Accelerated TMS cost. Yeah, we did hit this this section here in regard to accelerated TMS cost, but we've obviously been outdone there. But we're still, you know, ranking twice here for that keyword, and it's highlighting that cost that we've got in there, along with another page on general TMS costings. And if we look at accelerated TMS cost, or accelerated TMS Denver, let's try that. Yeah, we're ranking, I mean, you know, the ones for accelerated TMS in Denver, maybe even Colorado as well. But then, okay, so you've added the content on the page. How can you then proceed to improve that page, right? So you've done the content, okay, you've done the backlinks, you've started slowly, you know, doing those backlinks to the site, to the page. Okay, what can you add now? You can start improving the usability and actual user experience of the site, of the page. So we've added specific reviews for the protocol accelerated TMS. And in regard, if you were to take this to like a mold remediation, or I don't know, a landscaping company, maybe it's a specific service, maybe you then use, you know, actual specific reviews for that service. So we've got, you know, 3 reviews on accelerated TMS. We've got a picture. One thing that we want to add to this, if you want to take it even further using the actual sheet, okay, let's head over to the sheet. What are some things we can add to that page to make it even better? Do we have, you know, a video testimonial of accelerated TMS? Do we have a video answering questions on TMS? Maybe that's something we can add. You know, a video Q&A videos. Let's add that to the live sheet actually. Q&A. We have got, yeah, we haven't covered that, have we? Q&A videos, right? So certain things like, you know, how does accelerated TMS work? Set up a video on that. Are, you know, other sites doing that? Have other sites covered accelerated TMS in a video? Probably not. I'd assume so. I don't know. We'll check. Let's just type up accelerated TMS. You know, let's click on, I don't know, this one here. TMS Institute of Arizona. Okay, checking out their page, you know, what are they doing that's different to ours, and they seem to be ranking well. Okay, so they've got videos They've got a TMS video, they've got a testimonial video, which is great. We don't have that, so that's something we need to note down. Can we get a testimonial video on the page? I mean that, yeah. To be honest, benefits of accelerated TMS therapy. They don't have a video covering accelerated TMS as far as I know, so maybe that's something that we set up. So these are just things that you can just do. Q&A videos, you can just add and just continue to just improve that page. And it's not only from an SEO perspective, improve it from, I mean, obviously there's the content, but then also improve it from, a user experience perspective, the reviews, the videos, the photos. We've got like a little table here covering the differences between other TMS, things. We've got, this free guide that we're offering, offering that free incentive, going back to the SEO audit, going back to the let me find it here, using a free incentive, right? Are free lead magnets being used, right? So there's a good example of how that's being utilized. Obviously we've covered the accelerated TMS cost, and then we've also added a specific review, a full review on accelerated TMS. Now, these are just things, I don't want to keep on rambling on, but I hope you've kind of gained an idea of what I mean by, sort of my process in doing things, and how I look at pages, and how we can discover weaknesses and vulnerabilities within a page, right? And it doesn't take much, you can just make these small changes, and then every page make these small changes, and it becomes a list of these items that you've completed over the month, right? And you can show this to your client, and you can also gauge these small changes and minor improvements become like a whole a big thing, right? But they make such an improvement to your overall SEO strategy, marketing strategy, right? Adding a video, adding more frequently asked questions, adding a section that your competitors haven't done yet, right? Covering that specifically, accelerated TMS costs, or have we covered other things, or haven't we covered other things around accelerated TMS on our page? So I hope that helps, guys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add, if you want like a little template. I mean, it's pretty easy to do. I've showed you the kind of the how to do it, but I'm going to copy this here. I'm going to copy all of these here, right? And I'm going to chuck them into the live spreadsheet. Now you're going to have to just change them around and things, but I hope this gives you a rough idea. I will, there's a few things like CTR and things like this, but you can replace them, and you can also add conditional formatting if you have a certain target, to get to, certain click-through rates and stuff like that, if you'd like. But that's quite easy to do. You just head in here. Yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you very much. I hope that helps. Please let me know if you have any questions down below. Cheers. Bye bye.